This is Kalsifer,
This is Erebos.
and welcome back to the Dirty 20.
You see that it's a simple long hallway. Do you guys walk through?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I do an investigation real quick? Make sure there's no traps, at least immediately.
Sure.
9 plus investigation is plus 6.
You see nothing.
I'm gonna do a perception to see what's down the hallway.
It looks like another... I'm just going to tell you right off the bat.
Well, I got a dirty 20, so
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
It looks like another chamber. As you're walking in, you start to hear this.
Freaking Victor. See what I'm saying?
You walk in.
He just wanted to watch me use my axe.
He did like watching you from behind.
You have a very nice axe.
Oh my gosh. I use it often.
It's your moneymaker.
Walk into the room.
You see Kaizar just sitting there clapping. Great job.
I love being a lab rat for a god.
I did give you the key. All you have to do was tell the owl safety, and he will open up the back door.
Wait, what?
I said safety was the key. It wasn't my fault you didn't take it to heart.
It's like those tests you get me. It's like if you read the instructions, you don't have to actually take the test. Just put something at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And you get an A.
Now what do we get?
Point.
Because he wanted to watch us squirm.
Kaizar, what's up with this? Why did you have us do this?
He was bored before his date.
I have my reasons.
Are you kidding me?
But I did promise you a tour into my vault. He snaps his fingers and the wall behind you opens up. Inside you see many little statues. You actually see a giant dragon's claw that looks like it was torn off. You see on the floor labeled A1-EZ. Right in the middle of the room is a coffin with a glass lid, and right before it is a pedestal with a bunch of dice. Please, pick any die you want. You all earned it. Please.
I'll roll a
Pick a
perception
die.
on the dice.
I'm gonna roll Arcana on the dice.
Perception, I rolled an 18. 15 plus 3.
You will notice that even though you're looking at it, you also will notice that you can't hear any whispers in the back of your mind.
As I'm looking at the die?
Yes, as you're looking, you kind of realize that for a while now, you couldn't hear nothing.
I rolled a 26 for Arcana.
Wow, nice.
You will notice that these dice are magical.
What kind? That's it? Just that they're magical?
They look like they can
What's the
tell...
purpose of Arcana?
Can I roll a history on these die?
You could, or you can look at the
We're gonna ask-
plaque that's right underneath it.
Oh, I read the plaque.
What does the plaque say?
It says dimensional dice.
Oh.
So are we in another dimension right now?
Well, I did brought you to my kingdom.
So we're in another dimension.
You're in the astral plane.
So... Oh wait, that's...
The astral plane. What do you mean?
This is the planes outside of planes.
This is not the hell where other demons and everyone else lives?
Good heavens, no, that's a horrible place.
Oh, I wanted
Have you been there? It's very hot.
I haven't, but I heard Hesken has.
Was Hesken...
You were banished to hell in one of the fights by
was
the
it
Goblin
hell?
Warlord.
Okay, I didn't know if that was hell.
Yeah, it was one of the 9
So
levels
please,
of hell.
take a die. Any die will do.
Isn't this one of the staging grounds for the Great War?
No,
No.
not this area.
I'm sorry, but all your questions must be put into a written document.
He starts charging by the hour.
So please, take a die. Any die.
I thought you'd want to discuss it over dinner.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Oh, really? You took that dice?
Oh my.
Okay. Were you gonna take that one?
Yep.
Did you just take a whole bunch?
Oh!
Like 3.
You said take any die.
He took like 6 of them.
Well, I'll do that.
He snaps his fingers. You got one back.
Ah, dang it. They're all so cool looking, though.
Yeah.
Aren't they nice?
Wait, what happens when I pick up the die?
Nothing happens.
Oh.
You got to roll it to decide where you're going.
Nice.
Yeah, they like emergency escape
I rolled
die.
on the table.
Nothing happens
Cool.
if you do. When you're here in my vault, only I can make you come and go. Welcome to Dirty 20, folks.
This is for mature audience. So.
Jake's mom's just like, what is this?
Oh no.
Hey.
That's Jake's mom you're talking about.
How dare
Okay.
you?
She's very honest.
I will tell you that those dice won't teleport you anywhere, but they will give you something if you roll it. But not here, of course.
What is this, Dungeons and Dragons? These dice will actually do something? Come on, that's just a game. What is it called? No, like goblins and gladiators. That's just a game.
But he's about to explain something until you hear a beep, 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 beep. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out this odd disc-looking thing on a golden chain. He clicks it. He's like,
Is it over 9,000?
it's time.
Oh, the Dragon Balls are near.
Please come with me. And I start to walk right into a wall.
I followed him into the wall.
I'll follow him into the dang wall as
Platform right in
well.
3 quarters.
I poke at it with my axe.
I run at it.
The trolley.
Anything off the trolley, dears?
You are right here. Better put myself.
The things that man can do with his hand is just amazing. I wish I could snap like that.
You will see in the corners of the room are what appear as a elf with a mask over his mouth. He's in rags and he's holding 2 daggers. You see he's holding, even though he's holding 2 daggers, right in the middle of him appears to be a flowing dagger.
Like connecting them?
No, it's just flowing right there.
Oh, okay.
On the other side is what to appear to be a woman in a hooded robe. She has her hands placed almost like holding something in her hands, and above it is flowing a deck of cards. On the other side looks to be a very young Kaizar. Flowing above in front of him is a broken rapier. You see on the other side appear to be another elf with a crossbow in his hand. In front of him is a flowing orb with the white rose mark on it. Right behind it is a broken bow. Looks very old and aged. Right in the center of these are statues. The entire room looks like an entire mirror from the floor to the ceiling, making the room look like an entire sphere. You can feel the walls and see that it's actually a square room, and yet it will look exactly like a sphere.
A sphere.
Sorry,
You're good.
my speaking. Right in the middle of the room are 2 glass boxes. Around it is flowers. They all are roses, but each one is kind of different than the other. One is actual fire that seems to not be burning anything, while others look like they're still moving or breathing.
And those are inside the glass boxes?
They're around it, but they don't seem to be affecting anything, as it were. He walks up and he's like, haven't been in this room in a long time, but it's been a year now. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out 2, appear to be roses, but they look like glass. That's how see-through it looks. Inside looks like space. He places them carefully into the roses that surrounds them. Anyone want to do any perceptions? Or
I'll do perception. I got 14.
14?
5.
I got
9.
You can see yourself on the opposite side.
I got a 9.
I got a 9.
9. What you roll?
Nothing. I'm just standing there.
Okay.
I'm Polar.
You notice in this case right here is a tiefling woman, and this one is some young girl with a tail.
Hey, what kind of job?
Fox. Did I ever tell you how I became a god?
You went on a mission for Balthazar.
Do tell.
Oh. Did he tell you that?
You told us that.
I told you that he sent me on quests.
Yeah.
I never told you he made me god. A long time ago, after I was shot through the heart. It's a long story. It has to do with bacon. You wouldn't understand.
And you're to blame.
We were at a fort that is run by clerics and paladins. You could tell this was hell for me. He chuckles a bit and he says, as I was starting to recover, we saw outside the fort were cloaked figures. One was our friend, which we only knew as Griffin Man. He was kind of a superhero to us. He was changed.
I will not make any jokes. I will not make any jokes.
I promise. He was changed. He was corrupted by a god. And standing right next to him, kneeling to him, was Balthazar. Balthazar was playing us like fools. And we kept our suspicions close to heart, but at the same time, we had no proof. We did not truly doubt that he was anything besides a bumbling old man. But he tricked us. And for that, we paid dearly. We fought our own friend, our own comrade. And you can tell right now that his humor, the way he plays himself, he's not very stiff. And you can actually see how tired and old he really is, even though his skin is perfectly smooth. He has years on him now, and you can feel it off him. We fought our friend that day, and if it wasn't for the fact that darn fool cheated, we could have beaten that god that day. But instead, he transformed, became a raven dragon. He places his hand on one of the glass cases. We were saved by the two goddesses of our world, the last ones that remain on our plane. Do you know why gods don't enter battlefields? Do you know why gods will rather buff you up, or give you advice, or will change the weather, or change the land to favor you in war? It's because they know they have to play fair on the battlefield. They have to become mortal. The two goddesses killed the god, and for that they died. As my goddess was dying in my arms, she gave me her powers. Powers I did not want, I did not desire, but she gave them to me. And for that, each and every day became a reminder of the things I regretted. If we were smarter, if we were more clever, we could have stopped that old geezer years ago. But we let him live, and for that we suffer greatly. Tell me something. That day at the inn, what did Balthazar do when he saw me? What was his actions? How did he behave? Please tell me. He didn't recognize me. What did he say when I was transforming back?
Anybody want to roll a history check?
Did I need
Go ahead.
My throat's
Yeah,
dry.
11.
11.
Better.
You roll?
He wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I was seeing if
7.
you roll or not, because
No.
I was about to say you weren't there, so you wouldn't know.
Maybe it's the dice tray. I rolled a 7.
9. I rolled a 7.
Roll 7. I'll let the GM say if you do remember or not.
Yeah, so Balthazar essentially had said to the effect that he had not seen Kaizar in such a long time.
From what I remember, he called him friend.
Correct.
Kind of odd that he didn't remember who I was, and yet he still knew who I was. Funny how that worked, isn't it?
What does that mean? Is he not the same one?
Oh, he's the same one. There's only one Balthazar.
But they always wear a mask.
Are you saying Balthazar is a title?
What I'm saying is Balthazar is the world's greatest con man.
Victor, stop speaking in riddles.
Am I speaking in riddles?
You want us to know what you want us to know. Either help us, or make us fall into the exact same regrets that you have.
I've been working a long time, and he snaps his fingers, and immediately all the walls burst into words, glowing words that are rising up, and then once in a while will return back into the list. I did tell you I have a girlfriend, did I not?
Told us you have a date tonight.
Well, I have a date tomorrow, but
I'm jealous.
yes. See, I've been dating the goddess of death for a while now. And thanks to her wanting things from me and things I want from her, she allowed me to extract the one thing I truly wanted. And that is all the rage and anger, all the hate that every spirit felt for Balthazar. Right here, in this room. No, Balthazar cannot see nor hear. 1 foot into this room, he will be destroyed. This room is a complete sanctuary, thanks to the deals I have made and the promises I kept to the gods of death. Look below you. I gesture to the floor.
Roll a perception. 9.
That actually will still work. You will see an upside down city right below you. In this room holds a pocket dimension. If Balthazar tries to pull the same stunt he tried before, which he takes a moment, he's pausing because he's trying not to remember so much. And then he goes on. He brought the World Breaker to us.
This?
No, not that. We're talking about flip my fingers once again, and the entire room makes an image of the World Breaker himself, that's floating in space.
Is it like a huge beast?
It's the guy from our dream.
Huh.
I have things I still need to do. So things I must do. But there's one thing I do know. In time, I am going to ask one of you to be my... what's the word? My successor. In other words, I want to form a pact with one of you. I have not yet decided yet. But in this next battle, I will have to do what my gods have done years ago.
Why?
There is no beating Balthazar unless sacrifices are made.
Speaking of beating Balthazar, let me ask you, since you've spoken to these gods and goddesses of death, is there a way to return a soul once it's been sent?
His eyes glow, he's like, what did you just say?
What? What did you say?
His eyes glow, he's like, what did you just say?
Is there a way to return a soul that has already been sent to the other side?
He starts to take a step towards you, and the ground starts to shake. You can see actual steam going off his skin. I wanted to make sure I heard you correctly. The answer is yes, it is possible. But what a stupid idea that is. You will rip peace and happiness from a person from the other side. For your own selfish needs? For your own selfish desires? Why will you ask for something so foolish as that?
I have my reasons.
Oh, you have reasons. That's nice. And who will grant you these reasons?
No one, if it's not possible.
No one can bring a soul out of its paradise without the Raven Queen's wishes. Even reincarnation, an offering to the Raven Queen. And she will give the spirit the options to or refuse to come or go. Because the spirit must agree to leave its home.
Can't you just bring Balthazar into this room? You said this room was like could destroy Balthazar. Can't you just bring him in here?
No, I cannot.
Do you need us to bring him here?
No, this is a safe haven.
Only we are foolish enough to come here.
I would not agree to anything that would suggest bringing a soul out of its home. And there's something else I must warn you. There's a saying that the Rose Garden has for the longest time. It is read your contracts and then triple read them, because you do not want any loopholes in them. Now then, he claps his hands. You immediately see he's now cheery. His eyes are back to normal. I did promise you gifts.
Who are these other people? These other statues? Were they former people?
Them? They are my comrades.
Your predecessors?
They were once part of my avenging party.
That Balthazar killed? Or they just died?
They've been gone for a long time. One of them, I am not certain if he's still alive or not. He became the fox god after the incident. But time for your rewards for doing such a good deed. He walks over to, he reaches in and pulls out a coin. You'll see that it has all the metals of the copper, silver, platinum, and gold swerve into the center where there's a print of a raven on a skull. And he hands it to you. Don't try to use it. Think of it more like a good luck charm.
What does it do?
This thing?
Yeah.
Does nothing. You could say that.
Typical king.
He walks up to you, half-orc, and he pulls out a blue rose and hands it to you. You take it. The moment you do so, rose colors turns into a soothing green for you. And you hear a song from long ago, something your mom might have sung when you were a child. And you'll notice that you start to feel a lot more calmer.
Mm-hmm.
You feel relaxed. The rose is kind of romantic if you give it to someone you care for. But
I give it to Alicia. No,
To one of your babes.
yeah.
it will remember all the songs that you have ever come across. And when you feel down, if you feel blue, or if you feel angry, it will calm you down. Pretty much, it's the spell Calm Emotion, but it's for whoever's touching it. He walks to the dwarf
Aye.
and hands you a dagger. On the handle, it has the red rose mark on it.
Beautiful craftsmanship.
It looks very worn out, like it's been used for a while now. I have to warn you, you can use it once per day, and it allows you to switch places with it.
What?
It allows you to switch places with it.
Oh, I can leave my leg. Thank goodness.
Not what I meant. As in, if you throw it somewhere, you can switch spots with it.
It's like a teleporting. You chuck it, and then it'll be over here, and you'll be over here.
Better work on my arm strength.
What's the distance radius? Can it be like
60 feet.
How far he can throw.
Does he have to, or can he just drop it and then walk it? Just drop it and then just walk?
Yeah. He doesn't need to throw it. He doesn't need to throw if he doesn't want to. He can leave it somewhere, walk out, and switch places.
That's cool. I like this.
It works once per day. It's an old prototype. We have much better versions of it now.
I'm old school.
He walks up to the human. We're friends, right? He smiles at you.
Well, it's never boring when you're around.
So you agree with me? We're friends.
Aye.
He grabs your shirt and headbutts you. You take
Of course.
5 damage.
Oh, take it.
Are you in pain?
I won't be soon.
No, are you in pain?
No.
Okay. So, are you speaking? I asked how you feel.
Fine.
Who here speaks dragonborn? You hear, I'm fine. Everyone else hears gibberish of draconic.
Cool.
Just don't try to write in draconic.
So now he can just speak draconic?
Yeah, he gained one language from me.
Dang.
Make sure to add that to your language pool.
Interesting.
I would normally transfer it through you telepathically, but it's much, much painful, and you would be on the floor crying like a baby. The headbutt is to counteract that. So, sorry
You
about
gotta
that.
keep it interesting either way.
And as for you, my half-elf friend, I noticed that you were looking at my books in my mansion. So I decided that I will give you one of my books. He reaches into his bag, and he pulls out a light novel and hands it to you.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
No, it's The Wandering Adventures of Annalie Rose. Now, this is volume 1, where she goes to the mountains to face harpies. I think you might enjoy it. I'm still waiting for the author to write the 10th novel. It's very interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. So, this is one of my books from my collection, so I have placed enchantments and spells on it to protect it from any damages or any effects of any kind of spells.
Chuck it at enemies, and it'll do no damage to your book. It's an infinite weapon. Unbreakable book.
To put out fires.
I will also say that anything inside it as well will be protected from anything.
You can put something in it and it will be protected.
Like a good luck charm. Like if you don't want your favorite coin to be melted by the dragon's breath, you could place it there and it will be fine.
Put my knife in there, I can teleport back to it.
You'll be inside the book.
I've always wanted to be a novel.
Okay,
Here are the top search results.
What the heck?
What is this magic? Who said that?
What?
Did one of those statues just talk?
Forgive me. My phone started to act weird, which that shouldn't happen. I have it on silent.
What the heck is a phone?
I don't know.
Sending stone?
So
It's a new sending stuff.
So I will now send you away. And as he's about to,
What about the dice?
he raised up the what?
What about the dice?
The dice. When you're out my vault, you can roll and see what you get.
Okay.
Now then, I will. If he paused, looks over at one of the statues. It's like, really? Are you sure? Fine. He walks up to the statue of the female lady, and he grabs the deck of cards, and he starts to shuffle it. One of my friend's special abilities, even though she at times forgets she can even do this, is she can see into the future. Now, it took me a long time to find her cards to add to my collection. However, I also learned a few tricks. One is I can summon a dimension with it. The other is I can let people foresee their own future. However, how you figure out what the meaning of it is perfectly up to you all. We will start with the dragonborn. Take the top card, but do not look at it. Next, he walks up to the elf. Oh wait, not you.
I appreciate the offer, but my future is mine to decide. Well, this future's gone.
I'd like to shuffle the deck first, sir.
Are you questioning my shuffling skills?
No, I'm questioning the future.
He wants to increase his chances.
roll a perception. Persuasion.
Oh, shoot. I'm inspiration. I'm going to do it. Oh, natural 20.
Wow,
failed.
nice.
Wow!
That hurts so bad. You're messing with a god.
I'm upset now.
You may look at it now.
I can look at it now.
Yeah.
No inspiration.
Just like a tarot card?
Can we tell each other what it says?
If you feel like it.
Mine's a
Oh, the
mercenary.
future, huh? Whoa!
Mine says mists, and it has a picture of a graveyard in it, so I'm going to die.
Kalsifer? You like sharing?
What is it? I can't see it. Tell our audience what it is.
Artifact?
It says artifact, and it's a skull in a jar on a table.
You're going to be in a museum.
Hey, you belong in a museum.
Oh.
Any League of Legends guys out there will understand that reference.
Good old history.
What is yours, Plaur?
I want to be sharing.
Will you tell the audience?
For those not in the room, I've got the executioner.
Can I roll a sleight of hand? Oh, I rolled a 19. My sleight of hand is +3.
You see nothing.
Oh my gosh. I rolled
You
nothing.
see nothing.
And I slipped it back without even noticing.
Nice. What does yours say, Hesken?
Mine says
Innocent?
innocent.
Oh, of course it is for us.
Picture of
I know, he's so...
a fair lady.
What's the picture of?
A fair lady. That's right.
Oh.
My father's a mercenary. It's a mercenary.
Weird looking.
So it's just stating the
Tapestry
obvious. You're just going to
behind it
inherit
looks like
the
an eyeball
mercenary,
with teeth.
Brightwood mercenary group, English.
I don't want to be a mercenary.
How the message is perfectly up to how you can
Interpret.
Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun. Is that the order?
Yeah. Yes.
Read yours?
Innocent?
Artifact.
No, never mind. That doesn't work.
Mists.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Each one is dedicated to you and you only.
Yeah.
The graveyard of my
Future, you said?
the graveyard of my enemies.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully.
Most things also means mysterious if you think of it as just the mist. Or maybe it's a location.
Or that mist that the were people use. In which case it will forever shroud the graveyard of my enemies. So none of their relatives can find them.
You never know. Wasn't it you that summoned the mist the first time?
Oh,
no.
Well then, I take the cards back.
Oh man, I thought we got to keep them.
No, but
Graveyard of my enemies.
Mist was your message. Mist.
well, sometimes it could be just the picture itself. You never know. That's the fun thing about the future. Oh, believe me, we had horrible times with these cards ourselves. Now then, might as well let you all go. Are you ready? I say, looking at the corner of my eye towards something in the shadows.
What's in the shadows?
What walks out is the elven lady, wearing more leather armor.
Just your taste, isn't it?
Do you know Hesken?
Go ahead and roll to see if she knows Hesken. D20.
The answer is no. I've never left.
Oh my god.
I have never left this kingdom, so I would not.
Does the elf woman say that?
Yeah.
Oh.
You met her. She's the owner of the guild.
Yeah, but, have you heard of Hesken? Through the interdimensional planes.
Me? Yeah, he's right there.
Okay, anyway.
Switch DMs.
So
Nice try.
she wants to explore a bit and witness things. I hope you don't mind her going with you on your adventures for at least a while.
Alright, let's take Queen Amidala with us.
So he will.
Princess Leia.
That's a nice one.
Queen Amidala.
But now I will let you all go. Have a safe journey.
Any buffs you can give
I
us?
think that's the first one you got.
Come on, God! Come on, Almighty God, who boasts of his powerful skills and stuff like that.
Well, sure, I'll give you the buff of you in a different location. Well, don't you want to roll it? It's you now.
Oh, yes. So, depending on where the party would like to go, that is where you will be teleported to.
Dinner table.
Okay, so you guys are at some inn now.
Back in Karn?
No,
Probably, it could be anywhere you would like to go. We'll let the group decide together.
I would say back at the headquarters at Karn, because remember, there's that half-elf orc that has the power suit item that I want to check out. And plus,
We also have to find your parents, too.
yeah, they're at the orc encampment, but it's not like, hey, let's just teleport right into the orc encampment,
No.
so who wants to roll what?
So, Pilar got a 4.
Oh, wait. What's I rolling for?
You just
I was
rolled-
throwing it up there to give to him.
Oh, don't you want to roll it? See what you get?
Okay.
What are we... what are we rolling for? What are they... Do we
He
know...
said that we would get something and re-roll them, but not share the guild.
Do we have to roll them now?
You can roll
If you like.
whenever.
Though you will use normal dice because I am taking them back.
I'm rolling now.
I got 5.
You got 5?
A 1! Yes!
Hey,
Okay, I'll get to you in a moment.
I got a 5 as well.
Okay, roll perception.
Both of us?
No, just her.
14.
14? As you see the dice start to glow, you see that the 5 immediately, before disappearing, switched to a 6.
Ooh.
Wow, I didn't even know that was going to do that.
The dice reverts into itself, and then, as if like a little pop sound, you see a jade little disc flops right in front of you.
Okay.
The disc is round. It has what looks to be a carvings of mountains with the sun and clouds on both sides. It says in description around it, it says attune first, say monkey, and then it gives off the listing: awake, sleep, come, talk, dance, sing.
Wait, so attune first.
You want to give her a page to look at?
Do you want to attune to it? Because it'll take you a short rest to do so.
Yeah.
I actually looked it up.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
So say monkey, and then all the other things.
Well, you're at it in, so you got time.
Are we at it in
So,
Barn,
Or at the
are we-
headquarters.
so,
or back at the headquarters? Okay.
so we'll get back to you in a moment. You roll what?
1.
A 1, and that was the blue die, right?
Correct.
That would. The die glows and then reverts into itself, and then you hear a pop, and you see a bag flops onto the table, wet, and has seaweed on it. Looking inside, you see that it's dry on the inside, and it has seashells in them. You can examine it for a bit, but you will realize that this bag is waterproof. What you roll?
5.
5? What's your
Purple and blue die.
purple and blue? All right.
Waterproof bag, nice. Who knew?
For all my snorkeling needs.
It will revert into itself and then pop, and a great sword flops right onto the table. But then you notice that the table starts to burn.
Wow.
Do you grab it?
I'll roll perception to see if it's going to burn me.
Probably.
You can't tell me.
Fine, yes, I'll just touch it gently.
It burns you.
Well, thanks.
I grab it.
You grab it? I would like you to...
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll pick it up for him.
It burns you, even though it's a normal sword, except for the metal is too hot to touch.
If I hold my axe to it, will it fall?
It might actually.
It's a frost axe.
It puts out any fire.
That's true. He's got a point.
It's not on fire. Is this too hot?
Maybe it got transported from the hell plane or something. I don't know. It's just hot at the moment.
So, what do you roll?
I rolled a 4.
A 4?
Green and red.
Oh, green. You get...
I'm curious how you're gonna grab that long sword. I'll be honest.
That great sword, I'm just gonna just like...
It glows and starts to shake, then it reverts into itself, disappearing, and then you hear a poof, and a big pile of slime hits the table with bones covering it.
With bones covering it?
Yep. It's ooze-covered bones. Useless. Do you roll?
So these things are one-time use then, right?
Yeah, they're one-time use.
Okay.
And here's something else, and I will say this right off the bat. These dice teleport to either another plane or another location. So these dice could still be here on this plane.
They're probably in the Elven Kingdom, or just at the bottom of the ocean
They're
somewhere.
like the Dragon Balls. You have to find them first.
Yeah. Alright, but I will roll, and I got a 4.
A 4?
On the shiny blue and green die. It's mainly blue, but it's mainly blue, but it's got a little bit of green.
A 4. Okay. It glows and then sucks itself in, and you hear a boop, and a Triton falls right onto the table. It's wet and covered in seaweed, and there's blood on the tip.
The table's bleeding!
I got the Triton of Atlantis!
Nope. It's not magical.
But, so I got a cool Triton. Nice.
So, we'll go back
I will now
to...
become Aquaman.
Well, he has to go.
It's okay. Go ahead and finish your thing. Don't worry about it.
I got
Okay,
them
so-
just with bones in it.
The long sword that's too hot to pick up.
He said it was a great sword.
Too hot to handle.
Great sword, sorry.
It's a great sword.
Great sword
Wait.
too hot to pick up.
You got a song?
Forever too hot?
Yes.
Or just...
Oh, wait, sorry. Let me quickly look at that. It's a long sword, sorry.
Long sword.
Fine.
That's forever too hot?
Is it going to continue to burn hot like that?
Yeah, the metal seems to be something not from this plane.
Useless item.
So,
Hey, I know what we could do with it.
So
like
you
build
attune to
a
it.
tub and then
So-
stick it right underneath it.
Yeah, well,
now we
what
got
does it
ourselves a
say,
hot
so-
tub. So the Triton weapon is just nothing special about it, just a regular Triton.
if you were with 6, you would have gotten something cool.
What would it have been?
It would have been a spell book.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Learn a
At least you got a trident.
At least I got.
I got a pile of ooze with bones on it.
Yep.
If he would have gotten a 3, he would have gotten rusty daggers.
Kaizar, can we have those again? Those bags?
No.
Why do you sound like Balthazar all of a sudden?
Maybe it'll clean up through.
So, what are you going to say?
What do I say?
What are you going to say?
What am I gonna say?
Oh, you have to choose one of those?
Can I only choose one thing?
You say monkey, and then you give a command.
You can use any command.
Any command.
But is it only a one-time use?
You're attuned to it, so technically... No.
Monkey wake.
Yes, you have.
All of a sudden, you hear it. First, the letters start to move away. And then you notice that it looks like a tail. Inside is brown fur underneath the jade. Then it moves its arms like this and starts to raise up. Ears flop open. Looks confused, yawn, scratch. And as so, it starts to stretch out like it's filling itself up with skin and bones.
So it's a compact monkey.
Yeah. You will also notice that it's wearing a blue collar with a gold tag that is spinning around a bit.
Can I have my trident into a returning trident? Or a radiant trident? Actually, I don't even know what radiant.
You might be able to get it enchanted.
This magic... Oh, radiant.
It makes it constantly glow.
Any other commands you want to give it before we end?
Talk.
The moment you say... Oh, wait, you have to say the line.
Oh, monkey talk?
The monkey, as it is looking around the table, the moment it hears that, it immediately straightens up and seems to be like waiting for something.
Well, I can see what it does here, so.
Yeah. So it's
Hello, little monkey.
you say that?
Yeah.
It starts to speak in Elvish, saying, "Hello, little monkey."
Translates to Elvish. Is it one that only the owner can understand? Does
It will translate to the language that you would prefer it, but it will translate any language.
Okay, cool.
That's kind of cool.
It will not fight for you. In fact, it will revert back to sleep mode if you try to make it fight. It can bite and stuff, but it won't fight for you. It has the same abilities like a familiar without all the perks of a familiar.
Okay.
You can keep that.
Oh, thank you.
Victor, as much as I appreciate it, how am I going to carry this? I'm not a god. I will burn. And I'm white and pasty. I'll be a lobster.
The elven lady's like, why are you talking to Kaizar when you know he's not here?
Oh yeah, that's right. We got the elf.
elven lady.
We got the elf woman with us.
Oh, what the heck? When did he disappear? I don't even remember that.
You were teleported.
Teleported us.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was still with us, though.
No, why would you want to bother be around you guys?
Teleport us while we sleep.
He certainly wants to follow me.
So what does my pile of ooze do?
It seemed to be once part of something.
Once part. Nothing.
Do you want it to be alive?
Do I just take
As a
it with
pet
me?
slime. He has
Do I
a
just
pet
leave it or
slime.
Take it with me? Can I take it with me? Do I put it in a jar?
I think you
Roll
can
me-
let Kalsifer have.
Roll me's nature.
Kalsifer needs to go.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can go if you like.
Well,
He needs to know how to.
I need to be able
he knows
to
how to
pick
do
up
this.
my longsword.
You guys can talk about that next time. Because the answer is you can't.
Okay.
Useless item.
Pretty much. Hey, Hesken, you want to put your pile of ooze on my sword?
If you would like, you can roll either a nature or survival.
All right, roll that nature.
Why? Did you try to touch it?
Touch the natural one.
His hand
I'll let you roll
melts
again.
off. Okay. I got 13.
13? That'll be enough. You've heard about techniques where people will wash out slime, getting out all the acid from it before they add orange juice to it, laying it out to dry, and then it becomes a treat.
Okay. You can orange covered slime.
Ooh.
No, it's that citrus.
Yeah.
It's that citrus.
Basically, it's candy.
Candy.
But you have to work.
We have to make it.
But it's a work process to get it to that state.
Candy slime.
Yeah.
Well, we will go ahead and we'll just end the session there after we do some RP for you guys to decide what it is you want to do for next session, shopping, get that out of the way, and then we'll just end it there.
All right, thank you for listening in on our session of Dungeons and Dragons. Please, if you want to catch up on the rest of our adventures, please go to our Facebook page. I believe it's
The Dirty 20 D&D Adventures.
there. You have it. So stick around for more episodes and more recordings, and we would love for you to like our videos, check it out some more, probably subscribe, tell your friends and family about it. But yeah, so until next time, this is the Dirty 20.
Bye.
Bye-bye.